Welcome back to another couple Alliance Wars. In these two wars, for Loki's taking on X-K9 and then PAL0. First war up against X-K9. I only have two fights. Really quick war, so combining these videos just kind of made sense. First fight up for me is going to be Falcon versus Thing on Path 1 and Section 1. This node has the masochism over time, so I'm going to throw on a white Magneto pre-fight to provide guidance so that my parry stuns will stick. From there, really the only thing that my plan is going into this is only attacking him and hitting into him when lock-on is active. So should be a pretty quick, straightforward, fairly easy fight. You know, am boosting up pretty big. I've got, some boosts and overflow and just really wanting to make sure that I am clean as possible the rest of the season. I don't want to die anymore. I've had one death this season in the last war, and I don't want to start my streak over. I think I was up to right around 70 before I died. So other than that, you can see pretty straightforward fight. Going to toss the SP2 off right there. Lock on ended right before that last hit, so unfortunately, it didn't really do much. So here we go. We're going to get lock on again for the second time. Bait out a heavy. And then just finish him off with another 5-hit combo. So really, pretty easy fight overall. Thing can be tricky if you have to worry about his rock stacks and all that, but using Falcon and lock on, that's not an issue. So we're going to move ahead into Section 2, and on this path, I've got, Path 8. I've got Mojo up on this first node. I'm going to be using Human Torch with Flame on. Really, exit out. One of the things I always do when I place pre-fights is just pop back out and make sure that it does apply before I go into the fight. And this, I'm going to try and watch his prompts, and unfortunately I kind of get a little unlucky on it. Stun a champion, kind of missed that right at first. So he's up to 2 prompts, already up to 2 powers of power, which I wasn't expecting. Took a little hit there. Things into block his special 2, kind of hurting a little bit already, but I'm not too concerned. I'm not going to be using Human Torch again. Like I said, this is only 2 fights for me. As long as I finish this fight with full attack bonus, that's all I care about. So he's up to 4. I threw the SP2 there because I knew I could stun him, and then a 5-hit combo would finish him off, and that's really wraps up that war. Unfortunately, on this war, it was close, but we did end up losing to X-K9, our first loss of the season. Doesn't feel great, but hopefully going forward, that will be our only one. And then moving forward to war number 2 of this video against PAL0, I am going to be on Path 9 in Section 1 and Path 8 in Section 2. This one a little bit bigger. I have 6 fights. And as typical with me on this path, I am going to be using Angela. I have on a couple of the Odin pre-fights, just so that she starts off with 3 buffs. Then I don't have to worry about the either the Incinerate or the Poison being applied to me. This node's also got the Schadenfreude, which, as long as I don't get hit by a special 1, I'm not going to have to worry about any debuffs on me. So this is pretty much just a kind of a standard Kingpin fight, making sure that, if I try to parry him, that the parry lands before hitting into him, baiting SP1s, getting my openings that way, baiting heavies if need be. Overall, a pretty straightforward fight. Nothing that I am terribly concerned about. The only time you run into an issue with Kingpin is if he wants to be stingy with his special 1s and not throw them, which he wasn't here. He was throwing them freely, or if somehow you accidentally push him to a special 2. Those are really the only times you get into any trouble with him. And you can see there, finished at 100% health, not any issues at all. Not really sure of the placement there, to be honest. And even on this next fight, not sure why Mr. Fantastic was placed here. The only thing is to try and force somebody's hand to bring in certain champions because of the hazard shift, but 2 of the easier hazard shift opponents, I think, to face. In this fight, my plan is not to throw any specials, because he does, when I get over a bar of power, he goes indestructible for a few seconds. So I'm just going to hold my specials, 5-hit combos, You know, once he throws his special one, you know, just kind of watch out for the evades, you know, and just kind of be smart. You know, he's going to put debuffs on me, so I'm going to get free willpower healing the whole way through this fight. You know, you can see there's an evade. You know, was a little fortunate that he didn't counter right away, because I did throw an extra hit in there. But, you know, all in all, fight going fairly well. You'll see here, there's an evade right off the bat. Fortunately there, didn't get hit again. So, you know, a couple little lucky times in here. You know, up to my special 3. You know, figure once I get him down low enough that the special 3 will finish him off, I'll go ahead and toss it out there. Bait out one more special 1. I'm just playing a really safe at this point. I don't even want to hit into him until those debuffs are gone. And there we go. I just want to make sure that I finish this fight as close to a full yellow bar, because I do have kind of the toughest fight in Section 1 coming up, which is going to be a Void on, you know, node 21, I believe it is, which has, you know, the Schadenfreude on there. So if he does get a debuff on me, I am going to take a significant amount of damage. But unfortunately, I got a line message right after I ended this fight. I stopped recording, I jumped back in, and I did not hit record on the fight. You can see Angela's still fairly healthy, got down to about 85%, but I did take Void fairly cleanly on that path. It was probably one of my better Void fights. Wish I had recorded it, but unfortunately, you know, it just didn't happen. So we're going to jump forward to Section 2. First fight up here is going to be Sersi. I did throw on guidance. This does have conduit. She is a conduit defender. It's got the node where if you put a debuff on her, she's going to gain some power. So really just kind of going in here. Plan is to bait special 1s. You know, because Angela's already got the 3 pre-fights, I'm going to turn off the hazard shift. And, you know, it's a slow fight. You know, she glances a lot. You know, I'm trying to prevent her from throwing heavies, but I'm just hitting hard enough that it's putting transmutation buffs up and everything else. So you can see, you know, there's going to be points in time I speed this up. Really did not want to push her to an SP2 there. I do get mostly a good evade on special 2, hit the last bit of it. But, you know, really the plan is just to bait special 1s throughout this fight, you know, and then avoid getting hit by the special 1. You know, it's going to be a slow fight. I know that. You know, goal is to stay focused. You know, I have a tendency on longer, slower fights to kind of lose focus somewhere along the line. You know, so, you know, we're doing very well. You know, you can see even sped up, you know, it is very slow. We're a minute and a half in, and she's down to, you know, only 40%. So, you know, she's got her heals. I was hoping that the armor breaks would work, but, you know, all that was doing was feeding her power. So I've kind of stopped throwing specials, I think, except for a special 3 that'll be coming up. You know, because I missed an evade right there. Fortunately, she did not hit me with a full 5-hit combo. So, you know, I throw the special here just to take advantage of that little bit of willpower healing. I'm also going to take advantage of the crumbling armor node that's on here. Get some willpower healing that way, and just really try to stay as close to that full yellow bar as possible. I have 2 more fights coming up, and, you know, if I can save a potion, I will. And there you can see when the Assassin Mastery kicked in, the damage just finally increased. You know, that was a very satisfying last 5-hit combo to finish that fight off. You know, all in all, very pleased with it. I was worried about that fight going in. You know, wasn't sure exactly how it was going to work, but it worked very well. So the next fight up, I'm going to speed up considerably as well. It's Angela versus Angela. You know, I know why she's on this node, because you do have the rich get richer. I'm going to have more buffs than she does because of the Odin pre-fights. So I don't have to worry about her gaining power. I'm going to be gaining power at an increased rate. I'm going to top up my health, mainly not for this fight. And I probably shouldn't have, you know, thinking back at it, because I'm going to use Angela's specials to heal me up. She's going to place armor breaks on me, and I'm going to be able to get willpower healing that way. But You know, better safe than sorry. So, you know, like I said, I'm going to speed this one up. This is not anything tricky, anything difficult. 5-hit combos, bait specials. You know, I do throw a couple SP3s in here, or this one SP3, just because I had it. You know, why not? And then slow it down here for the last 5 hits of the fight. And there we are. So we're through 5 fights clean, only a couple of potions. Last fight up is going to be an Annihilus. This one I'm also going to throw on the White Magneto pre-fight guidance, just to help with the parries. And there we go. Kind of speed through that, go back in, and then we can take a look at the nodes. So aspect of evolution, which get richer, feats of power, mystic ward, which I don't have to worry about this fight. All in all, it is an Annihilus fight. Make sure my parries land, you know, and bait special ones. And what you'll see that I do here is I don't try to evade the special one. I can, but I've, you know, in practicing and dueling and all that, I found that I was still getting clipped from time to time. So what I decided was I was just going to block the special ones and take advantage of the willpower healing from the debuff he places on me. You know, so, you know, keep me up, topped up. You know, you can see he places 2 debuffs. I took 3% damage, and because of the debuffs on there, I heal up. You know, here we're getting close to the end. I was debating whether to debate a special one or just go after him and throw a SP3. I decided just to kind of go all in, throw the SP3, finish him off, and that wraps up this war. Fortunately, 2 wars in this video for me, all clean fights for the most part, and all attack bonus on all the fights. So very, very pleased with the way that they turned out. Looking at the season overall, I'm at 36 kills, 1 death, and for Loki is now 7-1. Unfortunately, my streak did start over, so I may include that in the next video. But thank you for watching.